We begin with number 10. Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells. Imagine being summoned into a fantasy world with your entire class, and while your classmates get flashy, world-ending abilities, you get stuck with the magical equivalent of a water gun. That's what happens to Tuka. Everyone treats him like garbage, and to make it worse, they toss him into a dungeon to die. But here's the catch. His low-level abilities? Yeah, they're broken in ways no one saw coming. He literally turns into a walking death sentence with a personal grudge. The guy goes from zero to anti-hero in record time. And honestly, it's cathartic watching him clap the people who wronged him. This is Emiverse Anime. Watch this video to the end and hit that subscribe button now. At number 9, the healer who was banished from his party is, in fact, the strongest. Being a healer in anime is rough. You save everyone, and still, they treat you like the team janitor. That's what happens to our MC, Luciel, who gets kicked from his party for being useless. What they didn't know? The man's got healing magic that can literally rewrite biology and bend the laws of physics. Luciel trains harder than anyone, refines his craft, and when he comes back, he's not just patching people up, he's breaking bones and rebuilding himself mid-battle. The healing meta? Yeah, he's breaking it wide open at number 8, solo leveling. Now we step into legend territory. Sung Jinwoo is the poster boy for weak to god tier. This guy starts out so weak that people literally call him the world's weakest hunter. He gets injured in every fight, needs rescuing, and everyone expects him to just quit. But after surviving a deadly double dungeon and getting a mysterious system, everything changes. He starts leveling up solo, like actual RPG leveling. And when he returns, let's just say the same hunters who mocked him are now begging to team up. By the time he's done, he's not just strong, he's running armies of shadows and challenging literal gods. Moral of the story? Never sleep on the underdog. Number 7. Arifureta, from commonplace to world's strongest. This one's brutal. Hajime gets betrayed by his classmate and sent falling into the abyss, literally. While the rest of the class gets to enjoy their fantasy Isekai life, Hajime is stuck eating monsters and surviving on pure grit and rage. But this man does a full 180. He crafts insane weapons, builds a harem, classic, and becomes an overpowered beast with a stone-cold personality to match. His transformation is so drastic, you'll forget he was ever called weak. And let's not lie, watching him flex on his former classmates is satisfying on a spiritual level. Looking at number 6. The strongest tank's labyrinth raids. Okay, here's a plot twist for you. Our boy Rudd is a tank. Not the literal kind, but in RPG terms. He's supposed to take damage and protect the team. But thanks to some amazing leadership, his party thinks he's useless and kicks him out. Fast forward a bit, and Rudd discovers he has a rare skill that makes him practically unkillable. Not only that, but he starts solo clearing labyrinths that most parties can't handle. Dude becomes a walking fortress. And the cherry on top? His new team actually appreciates him, so we get wholesome moments and dungeon domination. Win-win. At number 5, the rising of the shield hero. Naofumi. The guy summoned with a shield instead of a sword, spear, or bow. The kingdom practically laughs at him. But things go south real quick when he's falsely accused and stripped of everything. With no allies and no offensive power, Naofumi grits his teeth and survives through sheer willpower and smart thinking. He builds his strength, gathers a loyal team, and proves that being the defensive hero doesn't mean you're weak. In fact, by the end, his shield is one of the most terrifying weapons in the game. Defensive? Sure, but also devastating. At number 4, Ningen Fushin. Adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. This anime is basically a support group for people who've been betrayed by their parties. Our MC, Nick, gets kicked out for being lazy and useless. So what does he do? He forms a party with other adventurers who've also been backstabbed and tossed aside. They all have their own trauma, but together, they become one of the strongest parties in the land. It's like forming the Avengers out of misfits and heartbreak survivors. Watching them grow stronger together while giving the finger to those who dumped them? So good. Number 3. I left my A-rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon depths. Here's a wholesome revenge tale. After being treated like a dead weight by his A-rank party, our MC ditches the toxic group and decides to train his old students instead. He may not be flashy, but he's experienced, and that makes him deadly. As he guides his students through dangerous dungeons, we get to see not just his strength, but his heart. And when the world finally realizes how much they slept on him, chef's kiss. Especially when his former party starts to regret their choices hard. Number 2, the healer who was banished from his party is, in fact, the strongest. Again, yes, you're not seeing double. We just had to mention this title again because the sheer pettiness of the party and the savage comeback arc is that good. There's something so deeply satisfying about someone told they're useless, who then turns around and saves the kingdom by themselves while their former teammates can't even fight a slime properly. Healing is underrated, but this anime puts it on the throne it deserves. Number 1, redo of healer. All right, this one, not for the faint-hearted, or the innocent, or honestly, anyone looking for light-hearted redemption. Redo of healer is the nuclear revenge story. Our MC, Kiaru, is a healer who's abused, manipulated, and destroyed mentally and physically, but then he turns the tables. Through time magic, he resets the timeline and begins a twisted journey of vengeance, reclaiming his power and punishing everyone who hurt him. It's dark, it's brutal, and it's very, very controversial. But if we're talking about weak to terrifyingly powerful, Kiaru takes the cake, then flips the table. There's a special kind of hype in watching someone go from being laughed at to being feared. These anime tap into that underdog fantasy we all love, getting kicked down, only to rise back up and drop the hammer on everyone who doubted us. So the next time someone underestimates you, just remember, you're the main character in your own anime, and your power-up arc might be just around the corner.